Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Topping the news tonight, the international community learned more about the Bahamas and the challenges we face during Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis' national statement to the United Nations 73rd Annual General Assembly in New York today. Dr. Minnis talked about the effects of climate change and the challenges we face in rebuilding after severe weather events like hurricanes. Our Minnis Minnis takes a closer look.
On behalf of the General Assembly, I have great pleasure in welcoming the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis' second address to the United Nations this week began right before 4 o'clock Friday afternoon. And at the outset, he wasted no time in declaring the war on climate change. He referenced the hurricanes that have impacted the Bahamas in recent years.
As an archipelago, with many islands stretching approximately 600 miles from north to south, we are required to replicate infrastructure many times over with already limited resources. While the delivery of humanitarian aid is essential, it is equally important to focus on prevention and the strengthening of capacity building. Such an approach must be grounded in a comprehensive approach to sustainable development that addresses in an integrated manner the range of issues that are critical to the Bahamas, from disaster risk reduction to the sustainable use of the world's seas and oceans to ensure their viability for generations and generations to come.
Prime Minister Minnis also pitched the notion that the Caribbean continues to bear the financial brunt of climate change.
When we respond to national need by borrowing internationally to seek to restore basic human infrastructure, our debt to GDP ratio rises, risking the possibility of a rating downgrade. This limits our ability to provide for ourselves, except we are burdened with a price tag too heavy to be borne. Mr. President, a relevant UN should urgently facilitate a meaningful dialogue on the international stage to establish a workable solution. Furthermore, the adverse impact of the global financial inequity is seen in the use of the distorted matrix of GDP per capita as a measurement of national wealth and viability.
Prime Minister Minnis also informed the United Nations that the Bahamas plans to ban single-use plastics by 2020, avoid being blacklisted as a non-cooperative jurisdiction for tax purposes, revitalize the country's urban areas, garner support for re-election to the International Maritime Organization, and decrease the flow of illegal migration.
The world continues to make progress in myriad areas of economic, political, and social development. But progress requires the eternal vigilance of every generation and a commitment to upholding the dignity and equality of all people and relenting international cooperation.
Prime Minister Minnis concluded his national statement by reaffirming the country's commitment to the principles of the United Nations. Reporting from the United Nations General Assembly in New York City, I'm Minnis Minnis, ZNS Network News.